Right, Victoria, how do you explain Reiki? What is it?
So it's an energy healing, basically. It supports our bodies, our main organs, our functions. It helps in so many ways to deal with stress, anxiety. It's not a replacement for, it complements. So it's not a replacement for treatment. It's used alongside. So it helps us to relax more. It helps us to not feel so stressed. It helps with pain management. And I see it in lots of different ways with clients that come to me, children, older people, people struggling with cancer, people struggling with anxiety, dealing with stress in work, health problems, trying to get pregnant. It can be used in so many different ways. And it saddens me, actually, the reaction, because there's lots of work happening behind the scenes from different teams proving, really, trying to prove with medical research that it supports. But the proof is in the pudding, really, for me, with hundreds and thousands of people finding benefits. And it's only harming, I think, those therapists, complementary therapists, so complementing medical, that are finding benefit in therapies like Reiki.
But how do you explain it, though? Because, if we say we tell someone, we're going to give you this injection, or we take this tablet, or if a medical expert presses, twists, turns, or cajoles a part of your body, that we can understand. It's physical. We can feel it. We can see it. With Reiki, there's no physical contact at all.
Well, there's physical contact in that you would place hands on, but there's nothing that you physically see.
But you're not touching, are you?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
you would lightly touch. Typically, you would lightly touch. I do, obviously not in anywhere that's inappropriate, but I would lightly touch, because very often the simple touch, and if you look at the UK Cancer Research's website, they actually talk about one of the main reasons that they find Reiki is helpful is people are more relaxed from a touch of people placing their hands, almost like calming and supporting them with it. And, I know people that once a week work in a South London hospital where nurses and doctors get out of the way. It's that embraced, because the nurses see how, with cancer patients, people that are in there for treatment, but also sadly people that potentially won't be leaving, get benefit and haven't slept for days, and they leave, the therapist leaves and they're sleeping. And it helps with them embracing chemotherapy when their immunity is low. And there are so many benefits from it. A friend of mine also works in a hospital in the north, and who has actually been trained as a Reiki teacher, as a Reiki therapist with me as well. But she works as a research nurse in the hospital and has witnessed how Reiki can help people have a good death. Because their bodies are more supported, they're more relaxed, they're more not so stressed and not so anxious.
Well, here's the dichotomy in this story, because some of the tabloids are calling it, they're criticising the hospital for endorsing quackery, and of course, but actually, if you read into the story, when they say this is being funded by a charity, and the Reiki therapist would be available to those people who are dying of cancer, they think, well, if it helps someone who's suffering,
absolutely,
what harm does it do?
Well, that's the thing, and I'm also part of a charity called UK Medicare, where we give therapy for free distantly. There are a group of 8 of us, Reiki therapists, that are, we are part of a federation, or whether it's UK Reiki Federation or another one, but we have insurance, that we're also part of the CNHC, which is the body that governs. Although whilst it isn't regulated, there are very strict things in place with regards to what we should and shouldn't be doing when you're working at a high level in Reiki, that give complementary Reiki to NHS frontline staff. And there are over 80 published peer-reviewed publications, Roberto, supporting Reiki and the therapy benefits, one of which is burnout of our healthcare staff. And I'm also really grateful to be a celebrant in Milton Keynes. So I support people with funerals. And one of the things that I've also been able to do is supporting people with end of life. A lady that had pancreatic cancer, not only did I help her with her her outlining her ceremony, but also supported her with giving her Reiki. And the benefits that she had from it were just incredible. And if she gets the benefits, then why does that matter? Do you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. If it helps someone, it doesn't matter. If it works for them,
absolutely
brilliant. But where does this energy come from? Because normally people say they can feel not hot, but they can feel a heat. There is something happening, and that's why there's no cables, there's no medicine, it's not a tablet, but there is something happening to the body.
Yes. So, well, I mean, I am spiritual in my sense. I'm not religious, and it's not about religion, but it's about this source of, if you think, I'm a big believer in that we're all connected energetically, and everything has energy, whether it's a crystal, whether it's the food we eat, whether it's a tree. The energy comes from somewhere on our planet, and it's about directing that energy that comes from the source of oneness for the highest good of the person that you're giving Reiki to. So it's not about me putting my will on them. It's not about me manipulating the energy. It's about me simply being a channel and directing that energy that helps. Because if we look at our chakras, they spin. They're energetic things in our body. You can't deny that. And all of our chakras, when they're working well, our organs are working well. And so it's about giving our body the best possible chance of being energetically well as emotionally well, and then ultimately physically well.
Now, when I was telling the producer of the programme that we should do an item today about Reiki healing, I did jokingly say to him, his chakra is all out of kilter. I want my chakra to be all in place, Victoria. How do I do that?
Come and see me.
Now, if your chakra is in place, what does that mean? How much better will you feel?
So Deepak Chopra, I love his explanation of it. He talks about a sink where the water's flowing out. So when we open up the plug and the water floods out nicely out of the sink, a chakra is like that. If it's well and it's spinning, it means our organs and all of those things behind. So if you imagine your heart chakra, which sits obviously right in the middle of your heart, and it's spinning nicely, it means that our heart's well. The chakra that's in our third eye, we're less likely to have headaches if our chakra is well. So it means it's spinning nicely. The energy that's spinning around our body isn't getting stuck. I have lots of people come to me that say they feel stuck. They feel like they're just stuck in a rut, or they're getting headaches, and they just feel as though things stuck somewhere. And so the Reiki energy just helps to rebalance and re-energize and helps us be well from a whole body perspective. Every day I am blown away by, and even my dog, he's a rescue dog. He has ailments, and I give him Reiki, and he doesn't know that I'm doing that on our dog, our rescue dog, Robbie from Romania. And he's got damage from being beaten, sadly, as a dog. And I give him Reiki, and I see how it eases him with his pain. My daughter, when she was a baby, I did the same, and she doesn't know. So there can't be this pseudo effect in that she's therefore feeling better because she's seeing what I'm doing. My dog doesn't know that, but he instinctively knows when he's got pain to come and sit near me, and I place my hands on him, and something happens for him that gives him benefit. And for me, that's why I do what I do.
Victoria, good talking to you today. I'm sure we'll get you back at some stage. Thank you. Victoria Palmer Greene from Milton Keynes. Look, if you've tried it, I didn't know you could do it with dogs as well, or animals. Have you had Reiki performed on you, and did it work for you? If it works for you, what's the harm? But where does that heat come from? And is your chakra in the right place today?